who had mentioned that they feel that we wanted to move some more, and I'm happy that motions in relation to either change of the constitution or something of the sort. Then so that is not in this. But I think as we go forward, we are going to see what we have to change and what are we adapting as is. Then after that, we are going to have appointment of the auditors. And because we have the current office that is existing, and we have some of our bank signatories who are the first officials that we had in Cooper. So what we want is in this meeting, we are going now to give the mandate to the new office bearers to also take over the bank. So that means we need to pass a resolution appointing and confirming the new bank signatories. Then after that, we are going to have our treasurer present a brief on the budget, what we are planning for next year, next financial year. After that, we are going to have a question, open question session. If there are any questions we might be having from the members, and you want EXCO to respond to, we are going to have the EXCO respond to that. After that, we had a special request from some of our members, who some of them are here, some of them might not come because I haven't seen any confirmation. But we had some few members who wanted just to share a talk to us, and this is in relation to what basically they do in the relevant field. So we had around 5 who we had requested to prepare something for presentation to us. Then after that, when we have that, the last bit will be any other business, which depending. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you. So after that, we are going to have AOB, and this now it will be open to all of us. Then after that, once we clear the AOB, we are going into now our social hour, which it will be like free for all of us. Whoever wants to leave can leave. Whoever wants to interact, and this social hour where we are looking at also, it's networking. We are able to exchange contacts, we know each other, because right now you find that we may not all talk, but after the meeting is over, we can remain briefly just to exchange contacts, talk to each other, so that we're able to understand who is who. When I say I'm CPM Ogaya, you might know the name, but you don't know what I do, don't know how I can help. The only thing possibly is the Cooper chair. But now when you meet the person at that level, I may be able to tell you, by the way, at office planning, I know, Professor Sangai who can help me do 1, 2, 3. Then that way, we see how to deal with Cooper. So members, that is in brief what we are planning to discuss. And request is I submit that if the who feels that is something that we need to include or what we left out, I'll be happy before we proceed to include it in the agenda. Our secretary is here, of course, is taking notes, and we'll include it in our agenda. So based on that, members, allow me to pose to all of you, if you're okay with this agenda, if there's anything that needs to be changed in the agenda, then we can proceed. The online team also, if there's any one of you who feels there's something that you've left out in the agenda, please feel free to unmute and let us know. Thank you. Any member who feels there's something that we need to change or adapt? Yes, Mobile. So we have this one. You'll have to guide me. I don't know. Is the member supposed to tell us what kind of motion, or we just, when he says I have 2 motions that I'm removing, that should be enough? Does he need to say the motion? Okay, just 2 minutes. I don't know what this is.
morning or good afternoon. So, good afternoon, members. My name is Marcel Robert, Kupa member, and as I did indicate some 2 days ago, I intend to move a motion, two motions actually. One, on the qualifications for you to be an official Kupa. And number two, the election of chair of thematic groups. I feel that as it is in our constitution, perhaps a few other members who are supposed to be also to exert their democratic rights to be voted in somehow on you. So those are the two motions I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Macero. So the online members, we have a member by the name Robert Macero, who has been a Kupa member since inception. He has two motions that he wants to move. One is on qualification of Kupa officials, and this one he had already indicated on our wall that he had an intention of moving that. Then the second one is on selection of thematic group chairs or members. So I think when that time comes, he'll be able to give more, submission, and we're able to do that. So that is one that was not in our program or our agenda, but now based on that, I think members, that is one that we need to include in terms of our request.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Good afternoon, members. I have a special request to make, Chair. I'm the oldest and the youngest. If you just go around like this, starting from up. There are few youngest and oldest. Most of the people here think their first meeting, other than that, they will to State House. I have a request that please, we can be in the house. Don't take long. I know most of the young ones know the old ones, but the old ones don't know them. Yes. Maybe not now, but at a certain point. Thank you very much.
Prof, with the powers that I still hold as the chair, and before that mandate is taken from me, and with a lot of humility and respect, allow me just right now. So allow me to take that chance, just to go right now around quickly, mention our names, and unfortunately the online members will not, because of we may not see them, but the people who are present, I think would be fair just to know who we are talking about. So thanks so much.
Good morning. My name is Moses Chacha. I work at the county government.
Good morning, members. My name is John Seti, Principal Kahanja, Chair, Kuria Principals. I know you're not aware of that.
We thought it was our name.
Okay, all protocols observed. I'm sorry, Masubo.
Good afternoon. My name is Joseph Mita Macero. I've been working for a while in the time with the fact currently sharp. God bless you for being here. Amen.
Good morning, members. I'm Dr. Paul, I'm a businessman, Kupa member. Good afternoon, all. It's called for David. David is a teacher, principal of the secondary school.
Good afternoon, members. I'm Tiger Muniko, an accountant. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wambura Elisha, journalist representing Wambura Media. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Mogeti Soya, Password, Director, Enterprise.
Asante kwa hiyo kulianda kwa jumla kwa kwa kazi kwa miko kama direct biasa.
Good afternoon. Masiaga Joseph, a banker. I used to work with the KCB as a manager. I retired.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Elijah Mutagabele, former accounting officer. Currently,
Good afternoon. My name is James Tata. I'm an accountant by profession and the incoming chair in 2028.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm also an accountant.
Good afternoon, members. My name is Joseph Wambura. I'm a social scientist by profession. Currently, I'm working as a senior program coordinator, coordinating projects in Bomani.
Good afternoon. My name is Professor Ernest Sangwe Mohoji. I work at Kibali University. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amos Sigore. Amos Sigore is a police officer by Kuria.
A good farmer around, but formerly a traffic controller in the railways.
Good afternoon, all. I'm Nyamboko Martin, an accountant by profession.
I'm Bageni Joseph. Not Bageni Joseph. I'm Honorable Bageni Joseph. Representing the mighty people of Okeraka Ketambaga and the Holy County Assembly. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very famous. The name is Chacha Chance, but Nyakanan. Yeah, I used to work in this small government down here. So currently I'm a farmer. Professionally I'm a nurse. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. I'm Deoga Malwaja, a teacher by profession. I teach at guys.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Matson. I'm Catherine Megani, an epidemiologist. I work for the county government, where I coordinate gender-based violence prevention and response under the health department.
Good afternoon. My name is Gabas Komkun, a teacher.
Good afternoon. Very good Paul. Daktari, the teacher subcommittee. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all. I'm Marco David. I'm a Mosonga, social development officer, Kenya Sub-County, and also the incoming organizing secretary after the event.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm Sarah Nyamagu, I'm a teacher.
I'm a journalist by profession. Thank you.
habari ya mchana. Kwa majina naitwa Jonathan Mwita, ni advocate.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sagire Barak Mekena. I'm a teacher. Somebody more here goes. That they can run Chavo Magia. The solution.
Yes, good afternoon, all. My name is Kuria. I work with the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife, Tourism Promotion Fund, as a corporate strategy director.
Good afternoon. I'm Christine Magacha, work with the Ministry of Interior.
Good afternoon, everyone.
everyone. I'm Nancy Batata. I'm a teacher by profession, currently working in North County on special ed in special needs education. So I'm in charge of special needs in North County, and I'm happy to be here and I'm ready to go.
Good afternoon, everyone. Susan Makabwa, a teacher by profession.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm the Kuria Station Network. I'm not working by profession and working for the Ministry of Food, Creative Economy, and Sports as Sport Board Service. In today's proceedings, I'm part of the election.
Habari za mchana. Majina naitwa Siaka. Nafanya kazi
Okay, good afternoon. Leone Government Emigori, Unity Medicine Vocational Training Center, Mungu Hamada, Tendara Manakuwaji, Asante.
Happy Sabbath, great people. I'm Suguta Levokasas Marwa, the incoming vote me at the incoming organizing secretary. Asante sana. I work with the county government of Migori as the senior tourism officer. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is CPA Paul Mita. As the name suggests, I'm a certified public accountant. I'm also a certified secretary. Currently working as the director in charge of finance, Migori County.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, Professor, thank you so much for this. At least I've also come to see the people I normally read in our group. So thank you so much, Professor. My names are Lieutenant Colonel retired Joseph Chacha. I'm a security consultant. Welcome all of you. Very happy to meet all of you. Let's just have a nice election, because we are all one. Let's put in place the people will steer the organization for us, or the group. I'm among also the first founder members of Kupa, and I'm very passionate about this group. As you can see, I'm excited that I have to come all the way from Nairobi with you. Thank you very much.
I also be at home. Urina, Irina of Marina. Joseph Sarimon, yes, Joseph Sarimon, what I do here. Remember Joseph Chacha, so immediate former deputy vice chancellor, research, Masano University. Remember, you know, Magamba professors don't retire. I'm retired as a deputy vice chancellor, but not as a what? Professor. I was going to go up to spend the fight. So soon I'm going back to the class. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Maroa Daniel, teacher by profession.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Andy David.
I'm very sorry. I have Kusungu, who are very in a was the professor of the professor. He was the professor of so Joseph Salim Machacha, professor of chemistry. And
now that I have received this from Professor, it's a very big challenge. Professor, when I came to Maseno University, I was looking for a partnership with the university. By that time, I was working in another organization as head of research and external partnerships. You really helped me at the university. You quickly made a phone call and I went to the dean of students. We quickly put together the write-up and the partnership with the material. So thank you so much. That my job and laid a foundation that I later go and learn another job just because of the ability to bring partnership. And by that matter, I must. So when I was being given the promotion, they were saying one of the strengths that was written on my profile is ability to bring on board partnerships at Maseno University. It was highlighted and case of achievement that I have done. So thank you so much, Professor. My name is John Yangi Juma. I am a health economist by training. At the moment, I'm working with the government of Ethiopia, Djibouti, and Eritrea, supporting them in carrying out economic innovation of their healthcare systems, and also positive interventions, particularly the nutrition, particularly supporting the president of Lesotho, who is the African Union champion on nutrition and the reduction of stunting in Ethiopia and Djibouti, to prepare policy briefs for the African Union. So today I am privileged to serve as the chairperson of the Kupa Elections Committee, and it's been a great journey. I was the founding organizing secretary of the professionals and have remained a member, and I'm proud that I still offer support to see this profession. So when I see the people titles, the people how they're looking, it's really impressive. And it's a members of Kupa. So it's really. And I already had people very interested for 2028. So I was telling my fellow board member working here that if we do a good job, these people might consider recommending us again. Lakini mtu akaniambia nichunge sana, unajua but I hope this will be different, and we will have new leadership, transparent, reliable. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, senior members and my fellow members. My name is Joseph Tate Muhanga from President's Office. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. My name is Naika. I'm an immigration
Good afternoon. Good afternoon again. Happy Sabbath. Happy day. My name is Awarema Stephen Maswi. Mnanitanga Mtimbaru kwa group. But my real name is Awarema Stephen Maswi, a human resource practitioner, CHRB, Certified Human Resource. I work in Migori Water Company. Mimi ndio ule ambao mliona naitwa MD. Mliniona jameni? So leo hii nimekuja hapa as a candidate, organize a secretary. So naomba tafadhali sana unikumbuke. Asanteni.
Kumulina anabereka Mr. Nakabwa, by profession ni mwalimu kimungo kwa hande kwa county Migori.
Good afternoon. My name is Moses Sirure. I'm currently deployed as a senior manager at business origination KCB head office. I'm a member of Kupa. I'm also an examiner with the HRM PB. I'm the examining body for HR professionals in Kenya. Thank you.
I don't know if there's anyone else that introduce.
Introduce ni Masiaga. Bwana asifiwe. God is good. Ninaitwa Moses Masiaga. I'm a land surveyor by training. Na baada ya hapo nikaenda ile ya sijui kama ni by calling, then I trained in development studies because I had a passion for development. So I have a training in development studies. and I'm currently pursuing my PhD with St. Paul's University. Karibuni sana, hapa ni nyumbani. Let me take that advantage to welcome you. Kwa wageni, mahali ambapo ndio ofisi zile za kujiandaa, wakati umesikia unataka kuenda kwa ile ofisi, ile ofisi ambayo unaingia ukiwa peke yako, you use this door. Ukipitia kwa huu mlango, we have washrooms just right opposite this door pande hii. That is where we have ladies. Karibuni sana, Mungu awabariki.
I think if we do not allow the online members to introduce themselves with technology, I think it's possible. I'm sure mnatusikia. Kindly, one by one, you can turn on your video or rather your camera and introduce yourself. Maybe basic, straight to the forward. I mean, straight to the point, your name and what you do. So you can start with Zablon Manoa. If you can hear me, please turn on your camera and introduce yourself. Zablon. Good afternoon. Thank you, Zablon. Yes, we were able to hear you. We can move to David Barante. Daniel Barante. Turn on your camera, please. Karibu sana, Prof. We move to Gachenge Margaret. Margaret, please turn on your camera and introduce yourself.
Good afternoon. I'm a social media officer.
Karibu sana, Margaret. Dennis Rioba. Proceed. We can hear you, please proceed.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Dennis Rioba. Officer in Nyamira County. Thank you.
Karibu sana, Daktari. General Mara. General, if you can hear me. Maybe you can come back to the boss after when she's ready. Achera Kalem.
Yeah, my name is Alexander. I'm a business manager.
Munyoro, please. Munyoro, please unmute your mic. Karibu sana.
Julius Nyamwanga. Proceed, Julius. Yes, we can.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, based in the office of procurement section and also the thank you.
Thank you very much, Julius. Charity Chacha. Charity, if you can hear me, please. Leonard Chacha, Mwita. Good afternoon. Karibu Prof. Mheshimiwa Kemenge. Mheshimiwa Kemenge, please. If you can hear me. Maybe we can proceed to someone who is ready. Christine Wengesa. Christine Wengesa. Good afternoon. CPS Silvanas.
Yes, let's get up. I work in financial services. Other people because they're taking on you and we stand that the last year now proceeding to the position of the treasurer. Thank you. May God bless you.
Thank you very much, Silvanas. Lucy Wampuro. Good afternoon, Lucy. Maybe you can speak up a little bit. Yes, we can. Thank you very much. Ruth Samai. Ruth Samai, please. You can turn on your camera.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Ruth.
Working with the function and as an important program.
Maybe we can go to Samson Yaya and see you on video for some time. You can proceed. Introduce yourself. Samson Yaya, if you can hear me, please unmute. Good afternoon. Yes, you can. Karibu. Yo, Chacha. Sorry, anyone else who is ready to introduce themselves, you can turn on your camera so that we move a little bit faster. Thank you, Joseph Masatu. I can hear you, please proceed. Please speak a little bit, we barely hear you.
Can you hear me guys?
Yes, now we can.
Yes, my name is I am a software engineer based in Nairobi. I and I'm also senior developer in and also another yeah, thank you for
Anybody else who's ready to introduce themselves, please stand on your camera so that you can see if you want to finish. Okay, proceed.
My name is Kuria. I'm a specialist of education. I'm also an addiction coach. I currently work with property damage and the negative chance of violence control. And I've been in section and we have made great strides. And I believe that the news that is in election day is going to continue with that spirit that we are going to do in the Lord. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon.
an accountant by profession, specializing in tax consultancy. Member of Sydney, Australia, and currently living in work in Melbourne. Also, politician by choice. Thank you. I'm currently so outside myself celebrate. But this is our testimony not really appreciate. Thank you very much for what is important time. Someone can really listen me or debate me so I can participate in the conversation. Thank you everyone. And all the best for coming to change.
Thank you very much, McKenna. I don't know if there's anybody else who is ready to introduce. We can probably get like 2-3 more introductions and come back later. Good afternoon. Please proceed.
My name is Chacha.
Yes, we can hear you. Karibu Robin, maybe two more people. Proceed, Domtila. Asante sana. Paul Caro. Please proceed. Asante sana for the interest of time. We will come back to the online introduction those that have not introduced themselves. Chair, I think we were on the agenda. I don't know, maybe you can proceed to close on that so that we can move to the section of confirmation of previous minutes.
So thanks so much, members, and apology for that because it's taken some more minutes than we expected, but I think we are ready to proceed. So from where I was, we were looking through the agenda, and we have the two proposals that will be having a member motion. And thanks so much, Professor, for bringing that up. I think it was very important so that we know each other. So you'll allow us and to submit for that. Thanks so much. So based on that, I will request again, we have that one member who has given us his motions. Do we have any other member who wants to introduce? Yes.
Good afternoon, members. My name is Judas Munanga. Munanga is an accountant by profession. Mine is not an agenda. I just a concern which will be responded by the expert concerning the visit that we had in Nairobi State House. When we are there, the president gave us some offers, including 30 slots of the teachers.
So allow me to cut you short.
Yes.
For that, please, and with a lot of humility and respect. We have that part of the AOP down there, then we can ask. Because here I was looking at anything that is substantial that we need to put in the agenda. My humble request. Because it is, I'll be addressing that in my address also. So maybe after I address and you feel like it's not sufficiently addressed, we can pick it up, please.
I have another one.
Thank you.
Now this one goes to the election board. We are not at the end, we are quite a number. I don't know which criteria that we use to know that each and every person who is here is an eligible voter. Like myself here, how do you know that I'm an eligible voter? That one rolls the election board. Thank you.
Thank you. That one I can assure you from where I sit, I have a very competent team that had given their names to this group, and they look into that, and there's a way they have put some measures in place to ensure that if you're not registered, you will not vote. And there's a process that you have to go in and identify yourself. Already we have an IT guru who has come up with that database. So for you to vote, there's a way you have to log in, key in your details that you have. No, online. So physical, we are going to see. I think I'll let the chair of the election team to confirm, because from what I understood, we were supposed to do online, but JJ is here, he can respond to that. Thank you.
Your question is how to know who the voter is the Cooper member in Kuria. So as the board, the voters register is Cooper's membership register. All Cooper members in the register who are in good standing, which means they're registered they have paid their subscription, they are in good standing, they are voters. And then about voting, we will facilitate, we will put in place a system where all members will be facilitated to cast their vote. When we get to that point, we will have a brief on the process and the procedure that all members will be following to vote. And if there's a challenge, we have a team of IT assistants around who will help us cast the vote. Okay?
Thanks so much, JJ. I think that is one question that was being asked even from yesterday. So I think the team have put measures to ensure that none of us will vote if he's not a duly member of Cooper, and that means you must be in good standing. So thanks so much for that. Any other member who might be having a motion, if there's an AOP, you're trying to jadili pale mbele. Thank you. So for the interest of time, I will request that we have a proposal of our agenda and to get somebody also to second that. So we'll want to have somebody propose the agenda with the amendment that we have a member having two motions that he's going to introduce. Colonel Chacha has proposed. Kate Mengani has seconded. So thanks so much, members. I think now we are ready to go, and this I will request our secretary, who is going to take us through the minutes of the previous meeting and matters arising. And also, for the interest of time, you may not read word by word. You can just do the highlights so that you are able to beat time. Thanks so much, Karibu-san.
Thank you, Chairman.
So members online, we are trying to project the minutes so that you are able also to follow as the secretary is doing the presentation.
Members, we had our last two meetings in 2023, and in the year 2024 we did manage to have a meeting. So I'll take you through our annual general meeting that was held on 30th and we have opened for the December. We should have started with the one for July 30th. Allow me a little bit of time so that we Sorry, members, for that. So we had our annual general meeting on 30th July 2023. So I'll take you through as it is. I have already shared this in our platform. Kuria Professional Association, UPA, annual general meeting held on the 30th of July 2023, both physically and virtually at Sunrise Hotel, Kehancha, starting 15 or 5 hours. That was the list of those 7 members who were. Then we had 2 members who sent apologies. And the agenda of the day, we had preliminaries. Then we had matters arising. We had reports from the chairperson, secretary, then treasurer. Then we had elections as part E. That day we had the Cooper Constitution deliberated on. Then we had special motions. On preliminaries, confirmation of the quorum and adoption of members' register was discussed. And just as the chair has requested, I will not belabor you in taking you to every detail of the meeting. So we had a confirmation of quorum and adoption of members' register. Then on matters arising, we had confirmation of the agenda and the confirmation of the previous meeting minutes. On reports, the secretary, treasurer, and chairperson gave their reports. Then the day we had also a discussion on the budget for the year 2023-2024. And maybe on budget, because matters finance are normally very, very critical, I can take you through what was discussed on that day. The treasurer presented his report for the previous year, and the members' comments were that cost of the auditing had not explicitly been explained. This auditor's fee should, the observation was the auditor's fee should have been illustrated as a standalone cost for the ease of identification. Then on budget presentation, the budget presentation was done by the then treasurer, and it sought input by members. The budget was adopted with changes proposed by Honorable Rahab Robi and Joseph Chacha Nyamahanga seconded the same. The matter rose on the cost of running and maintaining the online internet banking services that seemed expensive to Cooper, with the treasurer reporting that the facility cost Cooper to a tune of around 2,400 per month, yet it was not fully utilized. A resolution was made in the meeting that the online internet banking services be terminated forthwith. The chairperson's report, by then we had Dr. Betty Samburu as the chairperson. The chairperson presented her report for the previous year. Then there was also made some comments on the report. The chairperson's report, it was suggested that the chair should always have his or her report presented therein, including a self-audit of his or her own achievements. On elections, the chairperson's election was an agenda of the day. Then we had the chairperson of the election board, by then was Dr. Muitariro, who outlined eligibility and the qualifications granting one into Cooper office according to the prevailing governing constitution. There arose a matter on minimum qualifications of anyone to be considered to vie for an elective position in Cooper. This arose after one contestant vying for the office of the organizing secretary, Mr. Robert Macero, had presented his papers to the electoral team, though he had no university degree, but with 2 diplomas from recognized institutions in Kenya. An elaborate discussion on whether to admit the candidate's papers or not ensued in the meeting, with some members debating for, while others were against. The chairperson of the electoral team read provisions of the Constitution, which posited that for one to contest into any Cooper elective office, the minimum requirement was a bachelor's degree from any recognized university. As such, he held that until the Constitution is amended, which I believe my brother is advocating for, he held that until the constitution is amended, then the basic requirement still stands, implying the aforementioned candidate would not be qualified to contest on that day. So on the elections, maybe I can first take you to the results of the day. The following persons were elected to serve in respective positions. Gabriel Chacha Mogaya was elected as the chairperson and unopposed. Rachel Chagwa Chacha was elected as the vice chairperson and unopposed. Paul Marwa was elected as the treasurer and unopposed. Major retired Charles Chacha was elected as the organizing secretary and unopposed. Sylvanus Kesabo was elected to be the vice secretary and unopposed. Then the position of the secretary had two candidates, Moses Masiaga and Samson Mariba, prompting for a vote. Voting was done by both virtually and physically. Moses Masiaga was elected as the secretary of the association by garnering 61% of the total vote cast, while Samson Mariba had 31% of the vote cast. A total of 37 votes were cast. So members, you can imagine by then the attendance for that meeting were only 37. Installation of new officials by the election board. Elected members gave acceptance speeches for their various positions. Members gave them a mandate to take up their roles to work for Kupa. Kupa constitutional amendments. We had members reiterating that they need to examine Kupa constitutions and amend it to be as inclusive as possible. The executive committee was tasked to sit, look into the entire constitutional framework, and recommend amendments for review. It was to be shared with members at a special general meeting. So through that clause, that is why we had an SDM in December the same year. Then review and activation of the thematic groups was the need for review and restructuring of Cooper's thematic groups was proposed by George Ibore and seconded by Joseph Church. Now that we have so many churches, Joseph Church, I don't know who that church was. The executive committee was tasked to take up this matter, discuss, recommend areas of review and restructuring the report and report back to members. Hello? The online team? All right. Change of bank signatories. Kindly mute. The motion to the change of signatories from previous officials to the current elected office holders and the manner of signing was proposed by Koki Robi. The meeting resolved that the mandate to sign for bank transactions be retained as three: the chairperson, secretary, and the treasurer. But any two of them will be allowed at any given time to sign. And on special motion to review thematic groups, we are here told to visit on part F, which I've already cited. Any other business of the day, a matter also standard of Cooper's website. There was a concern with very many patrons required for each thematic group of Cooper. Volunteered to help with the redesigning and revamping the association's website. He requested to have more volunteers to support him in this area. It was suggested that the association also drop the idea of having patrons to various thematic groups, but instead seek to have a single patron for the entire association. The vote of thanks was given by the chairperson, Dr. Biti Samburu, who congratulated the new leadership and urged them to work towards meeting the objectives of the meeting ended with a word of prayer from Honorable Tyson Kinege at 11:55 hours, signed by the two. So those are the minutes of July 30. Thank you, thank you. Now, the following is a presentation of the minutes of our special general meeting, Kuria Professionals Association Special General Meeting, held virtually and physically at the Sunrise Hotel, Kihancha on 30th December, starting at 2 p.m. In this particular meeting, we have 21 who were physically present. We had 9 apologies, so that makes the number to be 30. Then we didn't record any membership on absenteeism. So the agenda of the day, we had preliminaries, matters arising, special motions, and AOP. Minute 1, I think this one I can read through because it's just brief. The meeting was opened with a word of prayer by Steve Werema at 2:10 p.m. It was called to order by the chairperson, CPA Chacha Mogaya. He asked the members who were attending the meeting virtually and physically to do self-introductions, which they did. The quorum of the meeting was observed to have been properly constituted. This was proposed by Onamka Joseph and seconded by Wilson Magore. On the minute 2, matters arising, the chairperson took the meeting through the reasons why the SGM had been convened. He explained that since the birth of Cooper, there has been regime changes of Cooper office bearers through annual general meetings and elections. However, it was reported that resolutions arising from such meetings have never been reflected in the office of the Registrar of Societies. This was occasioned by lack of filing of these returns by the said office of the Registrar of Societies, notwithstanding that the proceedings of those meetings have been deposited with that office. When the current chairperson, CPA Mogaya, visited that registrar's office, he was alerted that the first team of Cooper had not been changed, implied that there was need to show evidences of office changeover through testimonies of minutes. He was advised that these minutes would only be obtained through a convention of a special general meeting to ratify. Special motions. Members unanimously averred that the main issues that prompted an assembly of the SGM of the 30th December 2023 were 2. 1, adoption of members to some specific and selected constitutional provisions. And 2, adoption of the results of Cooper elections as held in the month of March 2021, meaning you can see this meeting was in 2023. So the aim of convening this AGM, we want to ratify the elections as early as 2021 and subsequently elections of August 2023, bringing into office the immediate past office bearers and the current serving Cooper office bearers respectively. After extensive deliberations, the meeting agreed to discuss and adopt and or reject the 2 memoranda and motions concurrently. This was proposed by Francis Chacha and seconded by Dr. Sibunti Riro and unanimously adopted by the meeting. AOB. During the meeting, there were 3 in attendance members who presented themselves for consideration to join Cooper. We had Joel Daniel, we had Gugwa Marwa, and Boke Sibuti. The issue of beefing up Cooper semantic groups and reinvigorating them was also highlighted. There being no other business of the day, the meeting came to close at 3:58 p.m. with a word of prayer from Boke Sibuti. Thank you so much.
So members, thanks so much. Those were the minutes as presented by our secretary. So the next is for us to confirm whether those were the minutes. Then immediately after that, we are going into matters arising. So I'll want somebody to propose and another one to second for us to move to the next level. Thank you.
I propose
We have Steve Werema proposing. Thanks so much, Steve. We have CPA also seconding that. So thanks so much. I think with that, I'll request now we go to the next level, which is basically having matters arising from the minutes to see what the expo has done and what is still remaining, and if it is part of the agenda or not. So I think from what I've been able to gather is when he did the presentation, we have the audit fee, which in the accounts that we had presented, all of them had been lumped together. So you could not be able to know what is this amount we are saying, maybe administrative expenses. So this one, I will request a CPA Paul to basically confirm from the report that is received from the auditors, whether we've been able to do that. If not, then we need to know how to separate it. So, karibu CPA.
Members, thank you so much, Chair. I think I just want to confirm to the members that I received the report from the external auditor, but because of the challenges that you had in the current leadership in terms of compliance, like the current chair that we have is not the substantive chair. So I talked to the substantive chair, that is Dr. Betty Samburu, and also Ken Ochi, who are supposed to sign that particular financials for us to be able to submit that. So in this case, what I'll be doing is basically to submit to you or present to you the position in terms of what we've shared and confirmed by the auditors. But Sir Ken Ochi and Dr. Samburu, they need to go through and then we can agree. So I think, Chair, that is the current position, but of course we have the status and the financials I've just shared. And just to let you know that what we've done is basically to give you the status of the financials as at 30th of September 2025 and not as at 30th June 2025. But we have all the position. Reason being, we've had a very massive spending because of the state house, process or project that we had. So we saw it fit to just bring you closer to October where we are and not give you position as at started of June. But in terms of compliance to the tax authority and also to the annual, in terms of annual return submission, you have to make sure that you do as at 30th of June 2025 because our financial year runs from June to June. But for the sake of this group or the association, we want transparency, and that is why you gave us that responsibility. Thank you so much. I'll be doing that presentation. I don't know when it is now, Chair, then I can take over or it's later. But in the meantime, I'll just request that you just start to go through the position in terms of the years they have just shared, and then if you have any question, of course, I'll be able to respond to you. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Paul. The other that I picked is there was a deliberation because of the bank charges that we are suffering with the account we have. The account charges we are being charged were a bit high because on a monthly basis we are paying 2,400 for the online. So I wish to confirm that we communicated to the bank and this one stopped because also the engagement in terms of utilizing that account was not so active. Need to pay 2004. There was a communication from the members, a chairman's report. So I humbly request that you will allow my report and you will see whether that is the chairman's report or there's anything that needs to be changed. So that one has been done. Then the other bit on qualification is the matters arising in terms of the members that we have and also the qualification for office bearers. So that one, it's part of the motion, so we are not going to discuss that. We are going to see that because we discussed at the SGM during the constitutional review, but we have that motion being moved today. So allow me to pass that. The other bit was on the thematic groups, which also we talked about the chairs, and I think we had the patrons, and we didn't go far with that. So what I'm proposing is today we should be having the selection of the thematic group chairs. I think that when it comes to that, the election board is going to guide us, and we see how to go about it. The change of bank signatories, we were not able to effect that for simple reason. when we went to do the submission, the registrar of society actually said all the submissions that we had done were not adapted. That's the 2021, 2022. One reason is in their books, when they open our file, the chairperson of UPA is Ken Mhochi, the secretary of UPA is Dr. Betty Samburu, and the treasurer is me, Gabriel Chacha. And they questioned that our constitution was very clear that we need to have not less than 118 members attending the annual general meeting. So they asked me, when you give us a report, because we usually share even the list of attendance. So they said the list had 115 people, not that technically knocked all the AGMs we've done. So to them they say you cannot change anything. It's only Ken Hochi, Betty Samburu, and yourself as the treasurer who can make that change. We were not able to even present that to the bank because they said you have no mandate of presenting that. So, but today I'm happy that we have a good quorum that we can be able to make that decision and submit by us being more than the number based as our secretary confirmed. And the last bit, which we were working closely with Ajuo Chacha in terms of revamping our website, we were able to do something, but not very conclusive. But we have a website that is up and running. What we did, we inputted some activities that we had done, and so we were able to make some little changes, but not major, because also we didn't have many activities to be put on the website. So to me, that is what I pick as the matters arising from those discussions, and also to give members an update. So what we are carrying forward is the notification of the officials, because we have to discuss it. So it's part of the agenda that we are doing that. So once we do that, I think we'll be good to go.
Chair, there's some one matter not arising, but to be looked upon in our next AGM. The minutes are very much rushed, that they have logo for the TCG. Then number two, the next time we have such AGM, we should have the minutes on our desk so that we can have time to look at them and also give feedback. Thank you.
That is taken. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Two issues arising from the minutes of July. One, there was a discussion about the possibility of a coordinator to be based in Kuria. And I think that would aid our operations. What has happened since then? Was it taken off the table or was it accomplished? Secondly, the aspect of the patron. Of course, I saw, the agreement was that you should not have a patron for the thematic groups, rather one patron. It will be good for members to know who that is if indeed they have already had that. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Prof, for that. So for the coordinator, I think we need to go forward because our revised constitution was not submitted and lodged by the we're actually going against our constitution, because the constitution breaks down all the office bearers. So, but what we can do, like part of this, is to help us look at the current constitution. Today we'll be moving a few things on discussion around that. We can actually push it into the current constitution that we are proposing to support, then to submit, sorry. Then for the patron, a similar thing, because our original contract that, sorry, I think I work in the NGO sector, so contract comes into my head every time. So the constitution was very clear in terms of who are the office bearers and what are their roles. So what we can do is, based on this meeting, we can agree. Actually, I can tell you for free, coordinating most of these events when you are far away, it's very challenging. My brother here, Marcelo, has been very helpful in terms of coordinating some of the activities here. For example, is last time when we were going to State House, we had actually to ask the broadcasters here, Marcelo, I think Mwalim Ben, another gentleman from Ntimaru, to basically coordinate for us here. which it was not an easy thing because all of us are out there. So if you have any planning here, it becomes another one. So I think, Prof, thanks so much. And my humble request is, as we are discussing and these reviews, we can make a proposal that we make changes in our constitution. We create those, because the fear is if we appoint them, then we have Wakili, I think he's stepped out. Somebody can go and challenge he position Maitoa under whose mandate is he acting. But I think, Prof, that is very good. We can discuss that today, members. Then we make, if because in katiba ni yetu, once we say tunataka, we are the people who made it, so we make, we change. So to me, thanks so much for that. We'll be able to see how to proceed. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Chair. Mine is just to get a clarification. You indicated that from the year 2021, we've not been filing returns. Now that implies that for the last 4 years or so, we've been incurring penalties in the Registrar's office. Is that the position?
We've not gotten any penalty because what I did, I went there in person, met the person in charge of registration. With the help of one of our member, Christopher Marwa, we were able to reach out. So he gave us direction on what needs to be done, and he told us for us to do any submission, we must have members ratify that. So we have those returns were done, submitted, but they were never accepted. So not very sure, but if that is the case, then yes, I can say possibly it might come with penalties. But what I did is I reached out to the officer in writing, and they said, you go ratify this and share with us. So we're expecting that when we submit these minutes and the deliberations, we should be able now to be told whether we are penalized or not.
The reason why I'm asking is because if at all we've been penalized, if there's a provision in the Societies Act to be allowed to ask for a waiver, then this IGM can ask for a waiver for that, because it was beyond what we have done in between this period. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Dr. I think that is well taken. So what we'll do, I think my humble request, possibly we can maybe even have it documented in our meetings, in our minutes today, so that when we submit to them, they'll see that we actually discussed that and giving the EXCO the mandate to proceed and see if we're able to, if there are any charges or anything, or rather EXCO will be given the mandate. Let's not say that we are going to be charged the penalty. We just say we are giving EXCO the mandate to proceed and submit all the returns as they were supposed to be done. Thank you. Okay, so based on that, I think members, we have discussed that, and thanks so much for the contribution in terms of that. Rachel, I don't know what is the name. Was it done the minutes? So members, I think when I finish this now, I should be able to sit down, and with your permission, I'm humbly requesting that you allow me to submit my report, and then from there I'll sit down as we have CPA Paul coming with his submission of the financial report. So as we had said last time, we needed to have a report from the chair, which basically initially in the last meeting when we submitted, it was more like the secretary submitting. But members felt we need to have a report submitted by the chair showing also what were the achievements. Because when you come in, we tell you 1, 2, 3. So it's basically the chair giving his or her scorecard. So to me, allow me, I usually don't like reading because I'm a person of figures, but today you will allow me to read my report that I have submitted. Then after that, I'll be able to submit to all of us the report. So, members, thanks so much. First of all, I want to appreciate all of you for coming. So allow me to read my report that I'm submitting in our 5th AGM as to Cooper as an association meeting, which we are holding today, 11th of October 2025, to reflect on my tenure as the chairperson of Kuria Professional Association since June 2023, when I was given the mandate. Fellow professional, leadership is not all about titles, but is about service. Serving you has been an honor of a lifetime, and I'm happy and thankful to all of you for giving me that chance and also the trust that you gave. In the years that I've served in Cooper, I've done 2 years, 2 terms as the treasurer, then 1 term as the chair. And what gives me joy in this, all the 3 terms that I've served, I've never been subjected to a competitive election because all have been coming in unopposed, which actually gives me the joy and the belief that you trust me, and to a level that nowadays a few people comment that this is the community treasurer. And this one is by virtue that you trusted me and gave me that chance to be your chair and also. So, just to quote what Nelson Mandela once said, what counts in life is not a mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead. Today, I celebrate that difference we've made together. When I took over this role, I made a commitment to build on the foundation laid before me by my seniors who had left, to make Cooper a voice that speaks not only for professionals but also for. As one of the great people said, if your action inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. I'm deeply thankful that together we have lived out the spirit in service of our community and one another. So, great members, allow me to mention the journey to the success. When I took over in July 2023, we were very clear in our manifesto. One of the things we looked at, we were saying we need to make sure that our number grows. And that time when I took over, or the exco took over, we were slightly above 80. But today, as we stand here, I'm humble and happy to report that we have a total of 232 members. The expo made it a deliberate effort to ensure that we do recruitment. Of course, this went up when we were planning for the State House visit. There are so many people who came. But out of the 85, we ended up having fully registered members at 232 as of today. And those are the people that I expect they should be voting today. But in addition to that, we have more. You saw from the group, we actually had to exit over 300 people. And that means Cooper or the professional from Kuria, they're actually more. So all we need is a challenge to the incoming leadership to see how do we actually put forward to ensure that we have more people. So that means in terms of our registration and the commitment we made, we were able to achieve. We would have loved to achieve more, but as you know, we had over 500 people, but not in good standing. But when you look at it right now, with the 232, it's a good show that there is a membership growth, and we continue doing that. So we have more than doubled our strength in our numbers. We have found louder, found and more impactful voice. We have resolved to use that voice. As Martin Luther King once said, our life begins to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Now, in 2024 last year, we've had all the issues that are surrounding the community, but one issue stood out of Witembe issue. We were the first group that we stood actually, and we had that issue aired. We had all the media houses actually covering our event, and all of you will be witness that we were able to single out that issue of Witembe. Now for us, what we can do is speak. It's the government now to pick it up and see how do we actually handle this. So members, I'm so happy that one of that meeting actually brought out the Witembe issue at the general public, but also the security forces. and I believe this was followed up also with the visit we had to start. Also, he told us, mniachie hiyo kutamaliza. So we are saying that as Cooper, one of the achievement is actually bring that we've been able to do that. Then, as part of the thematic groups, we have the health sector. Through your generous support, I'm happy to report that there's a gentleman that we supported. It was called, I think, Wilson Gimai. It was called, I think, Wilson Gimai. From Kuria is be able to identify. But some community members actually showed us that video, and we felt like it's a situation that we can help. As Cooper, we actually mobilize the resources. And I remember I was receiving that amount under CPA Paula, our treasurer. We were here, which is owned by one of our members, that gave every member of the clan from Region Yaki. What I'm going to do, each ward in Kuria East, we have 15 slots for West. So each ward in Kuria East, 3. How you do it? I need those names. So the ESCO are able to give me those names. Then in Kuria West, you guys, God has blessed you with many wards. There are 7 wards in Kuria West. So what we did is divide by 15. Each ward got 2, but there's one lucky ward that got 3. So that is how we managed to actually share out those names. And those names we are getting qualified people because we had to get people who are registered with TSC. And also, I want to believe that they were not on internship because with internship we were like, the president said he's going to give around 30,000. So he felt that the ones who are in internship, chances of being part of the 30,000, they're almost 70%. So why don't we go pay these people who are not employed completely, either working the private sector, small schools here and there. So those are the people that we took. But we've already submitted those names. I submitted myself. And also, we have those recommendations that the president requested. Remember, we requested some of our senior people who had retired and some appointment that we are seeking. So I submitted to the president a formal request with the formal names written. So we were told that we wait for formal response. So those names are already with the president, within the president's office. Hopefully next week, we'll be following up with the head of public service to know if we've been able to get those allocation of the slots. And what we are going to do, the sad thing is, when we submitted, I think there are some people, the normal way people operate. There are some people who are moving around telling people, no, kidogo twende. And there's one specific lady who actually called me. And I'm bro, you submit your kwangu, you the sample. I told my sister, I can never do that. I am a professional. If you give me that money, I'll just pick, go donate in church. Or I'll go give a certain deserving case somewhere. So as we do not want to advocate for what, the rotten cultures out there, we want to remain as professional and be counted. So that lady told her, ma'am, I know we submitted your name, but do not put that carrot before me that, Miss Kumi here at Warner. No, I don't do that because I'm a well-trained person and I know what it means to be a professional. So those are the submissions that I wanted to tell you, sir, that we submitted. We do not have any formal response from the office of the president, but we're expecting it to come anytime. Then in terms of the financial, we really tried our best also to improve on financial management. This time, we were able to spend a good percentage of our money. We spent for the State House, which Treasurer will be able to tell you, over 250,000 basically for hiring of vehicles, coordination here and there. So within the organization of Cooper Expo, we've been able to improve on our accountability, and the treasurer will be able to submit to you the report and see how it goes. And finally, I want to really appreciate that within Cooper and also Expo, we've built a very strong trust, positivity, and open communication. These things you see here, because right now they're very quiet. But kuna wakati wanaweza nipeleka hivi, mpaka unashangaa, this is the expo you gave me or what? But it is constructive criticism. where we sit and say we want 1, 2, 3, and when things are not there, we call each other to order. So we don't, in EXCO, we don't say you are chair, so whatever you say is final, no. So we try as much as possible to ensure that we are able to promote that element of transparency and also accountability, which for us as professional, I say that is our signature, and we need to do that. Then as I conclude, you know, we also have members, and I think there's one member here. We try also to build the capacity of our members. And what we are looking at, there are some members who get applications or adverts that they feel they qualify. They have been reaching to us that we need a recommendation. So part of the success that we've had a lot of